Hi, friends. Today on Study Scripture Online, I want to take just a couple of minutes to chat with you about wealth. The author of Ecclesiastes has a lot to say about wealth, and since he had some fairly substantial credentials to speak on the topic, being possibly the richest man who ever lived, we ought to sit up and listen. In chapter 5, he offers 7 pithy principles about the danger of hoarding riches. 1, the more you have, the more you want, and the less you're satisfied, verse 10. 2, the more you have, the more people will come after it, verse 11a. 3, the more you have, the more you realize it does you little good, 11b. 4, the more you have, the more you have to worry about, verse 12. 5, the more you have, the more you can hurt yourself by holding on to it, verse 13. 6, the more you have, the more you have to lose, verse 14. And 7, the more you have, the more you'll leave behind, verses 15 to 17. However, Solomon's attitude toward wealth is not entirely negative. In verse 19, he speaks to those to whom, quote, God has given wealth and possessions and the power to enjoy them, end quote. Apparently, there is a distinction to be made between those who are rich and those whose life goal is to become rich. The New Testament agrees with Solomon. In 1 Timothy 6, the Apostle Paul claims that, quote, those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. But then he turns his attention to those who are rich, not because they have made that their goal in life. Maybe they inherited their wealth. Perhaps God simply blessed them. His attitude toward them is very different. He states in verses 17 to 19, as for the rich in this present age, charge them not to be haughty, nor to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. They are to do good, to be rich in good works, to be generous and ready to share, thus storing up for themselves as a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of that which is truly life. Friends, the uniform message of Scripture seems to be that there is nothing wrong with wealth per se. It is the attitude we have toward it that makes all the difference. If we love it, hoard it, stress out about it, and are never content with what we have, then wealth can be an unspeakable tragedy. On the other hand, if we enjoy it, are thankful for it, and are generous with it, it can be a huge blessing. For further exploration of this topic, click the link below, which will take you to a sermon entitled Satisfaction Sold Separately, based on Ecclesiastes 5 and 6.